What's up, guys? Eric with Verus Engineering, and today we are out at Putnam Park once again with a .2 GT3RS. We have John Sutherland, who is from Kentucky. He has put on our Ventus 2 kit for the GT3RS. This does have the upgraded splitter blade, which makes a little bit more front downforce based off our testing from last year and some driver feedback. We also have Aaron Lichty from the Winning Formula, who is our setup guru today. He's going to help us find some more time on track with the added Aero. Ultimately, both John and Aaron have taken the car out for multiple years, for thousands and thousands of miles on this track, and they know what the car can do without the Aero. So with the added Aero, we'll be able to see what the lap times do, and we'll get their driver feedback later on today. Let's get to it.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. You got the best of me. You got the best of me.
All right, so right now, Aaron Lichty from the Winning Formula is out in the GT3RS, John's GT3RS, just basically doing some shakedown runs and feeling out with the car with the new aerodynamic devices, which is basically our front splitter, dual element dive planes, and our V1X rear wing. Ultimately, John has dipped into the 12s, so he's done a 1 minute, 12 second, 0.4, 112.4, whatever you want to call it. And that is the first time he's actually got into the 12s with his car, which is pretty cool. So he's quite happy with the kit, it seems like, and we'll probably interview him here later on. But we're going to try and get a little bit more lap time out of it, and we're making a sway bar change. So we softened up the front to get a little bit more front grip. For those wondering, we have the V1X set to 8 degrees, and we, again, are running the front splitter and dual element dive planes. The car runs, I believe it's Öhlins TTXs, and an AP Racing brake kit. Otherwise, it is stock. I think he's got like exhaust, maybe a tune and stuff like that. But
all right, hello. So my name is John Sunderland. I'm driving this car today. This is a 2019 Porsche 911 GT3RS. It's a 991.2 variant. The car is stock, already set up with probably a better than average Aero setup and package. And I would say I'm an advanced intermediate driver. Fair amount of track experience. I would say I was reaching the point of diminishing returns. We all have more to learn in any car we're driving, but I was curious to see what a different Aero package would do, what more downforce, what more grip would do for me. So today is the first day of driving this car with the full Verus Aero package on it, including the front splitter, the dive planes, and the rear wing, which adds a lot more downforce to the car. So my goal today was to drive it with the intermediate or moderate setup that's recommended by the engineers, and just see how it felt compared to my normal 991.2. I would say that even in the first 2 sessions of driving today, the first thing I noticed was stability of the car, particularly under heavy braking. The car, again, was fairly planted to begin with, but I find that I can now maybe go a little deeper with a little higher speed, with a little more compact threshold braking, and the car still seems to be very stable without much rear end wiggle. Long, high-speed corners, I feel like I've got more confidence in trying to slowly increase my entry speed to all these turns because the car, again, is very planted and I don't feel it moving around much. The first day, again, even the first morning with the new Aero setup at my home track, my best time, in fact, I did a personal best, which was almost a full second better than my personal best up to this date on this track, and I've got a fair amount of time on this track. The other thing that it did that I would say, it allows me sort of a new baseline to begin starting to tweak different things. Again, like the anti-sway bars, the compression and rebound damping on my shocks. Now with more Aero, it kind of sort of seems like I've got more limit to push these things and see what I can do. I'm trying to think of what I can say about any negatives, and I really can't think of any. Obviously, with more downforce, you're going to have to, in some cases, unless you're dealing with a big diffuser, you're going to have to give up a little on the drag. But my top speeds at the end of the straightaway on a typical track, I haven't really changed that much, probably because I feel a little bit more planted on the last turn coming into the straights. So all in all, very satisfied with the package, and I'm kind of excited to see what else I can do, how much more confidence it can give me to roll more speed in corners. So that's my take. Also, it looks great. So maybe not the most important thing, but we all love a car that looks aggressive and looks really cool, and it looks very cool. So that's it. Thanks for listening.
Cool. My name's Aaron Lichty. I own and operate the Winning Formula in Louisville, Kentucky. We're a full-service auto repair and motorsports preparation facility. We work on all makes and models of vehicles, but we definitely have a specialization in Mazda Miatas and Porsches. And quite frankly, that's because those are our two most enthusiastic communities of customers. And so obviously we're going to give them an outsized level of attention. And so a lot of GT3s and a lot of Mazda Miatas might not seem like two things that should be together, but most of our Miata customers own GT cars as well. Interestingly, on that sort of note, the Mazda guys are like quick to play with Aero on their 120 horsepower cars, and the Porsche guys are a little shy about bolting stuff onto their cars. And that's again where it's like, we want to know that it's going to be functional if we're going to bolt it on. That's a big thing with Porsche guys. You know, we don't just want to bolt stuff on for looks and for the aesthetic. It's boy racer to do that. When you know the parts are making speed, they start to look more attractive to you. And when you have the finished quality of the Verus parts, they're fun to look at when they're standing still, and they're extra fun when they're on your car on the racetrack. If you look at progressive generations of the GT3, the aerodynamics have just gotten progressively more and more aggressive. Imagine a swan neck wing on a GT3 in 2006. It would have been like pure blasphemy, and now it's like, it's the cool factor on on the 992, and everybody wants it. And so I think it's kind of time, and it's fitting for the 991.2 to get some aerodynamic upgrades. And quite frankly, the aftermarket and the research and design that Verus put into this kit exceeds what I think a lot of companies can do with the production components on their cars. And on top of that, I think the looks and the aesthetic of the car are really good as well. It's one thing to make an aerodynamic component that looks the part. It's another thing to make a functional aerodynamic component that also looks really nice and has that finished quality. And I think for the GT3RS customer, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. And I think that's exactly what this package does. So getting it out on track, doing the CFD design, getting some feedbacks from the drivers, making the complementary suspension changes to exact that performance from the car, and then also just having a badass looking package is kind of checks all the boxes for me. So I'm pretty excited about having it on the car.